One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. A father's death is the most important event, the more heartbreaking and poignant loss in a man's life. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. The only person with whom you have to compare ourselves is that you in the past. And the only person better you should be, this is who you are now. How bold one gets when one is sure of being loved. In the small matters trust the mind, in the large ones the heart. The scope of one's personality is defined by the magnitude of that problem which is capable of driving a person out of his wits. The first indication of stupidity is a complete lack of shame. We choose not randomly each other. We meet only those who already exists in our subconscious. Friendship is an art of keeping distance while love is an art of intimacy. Who lacks sex, speaks about sex, hungry talks about food, a person who has no money, about money, and our oligarchs and bankers talk about morality. We enter the world with loneliness and lonely leave it. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Love and work, work and love, that's all there is. Maturity is the ability to postpone gratification. All family life is organized around the most damaged person in it. The only shame in masturbation is the shame of not doing it well. When one does not have what one wants, one must want what one has. Experience teaches us that the world is not a nursery. In the depths of my heart I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. Immorality, no less than morality, has at all times found support in religion. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. The behavior of a human being in sexual matters is often a prototype for the whole of his other modes of reaction in life. Public self is a conditioned construct of the inner psychological self. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The ego is not master in its own house. Are there not very important things which can only reveal themselves, under certain conditions and at certain times, by quite feeble indications? It is popularly believed that a human being is either a man or a woman. Philosophy sometimes seems to me like a person who keeps cleaning their glasses and they still stay dim.